use that I have for this vegetable shortening is to lubricate that juicer. Is vegetable shortening really a food or a health food? Stay tuned to find out one woman's perspective. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Greetings. This is Body-Culinary, and I'm welcoming you into the food prep area. I've just been doing some cleaning, which I do often. It's very relaxing and meditative. And I have here some fat, right? And so I guess I consume whole living foods as a lifestyle. It's a peaceful way of eating. It's bigger than a label of vegan. So I enjoy consuming whole, fresh living fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, fresh ground spices, foods that you can still recognize as food with all of the nutrients intact, and their living waters, their essential oils and perfumes, all that good stuff. So this is vegetable shortening. So what I be doing with vegetable shortening? Well, actually, I use the vegetable shortening to lubricate a piece of one of my juicers, actually my Champion juicer. And so I'm sure you've seen some of these demos before. People take a bunch of chicken fat or something and use it to demonstrate, the fat that's inside the body, or the adipose tissue. And by the way, that's the only kind of fat we ever want to lose is adipose tissue. So I'm transferring this from one container to another, right? A more sturdy container, right? This will last forever. But the only use that I have for this vegetable shortening is to lubricate that juicer. So this is marinade on it. We're all much sharper than a lot of these companies give us credit for, right? But a lot of stuff is marketing. So I like to communicate in pictures. So I want you to think of your adipose tissue, right? Most of the body is what? Water. How much water is there, right? That's 100% fat. There's no fiber in here. Keep in mind the body does not like to access this as fuel. It doesn't prefer to access this as fuel. Some people will down a whole lot of this and cut out all carbs, quote unquote carbs or sugars, all carbs, right? And so I want you to think about how nutritious is that, right? In terms of those sugars, we need some for the brain, but we have some folks eating just this and meat made with a little bit of greens or something, right? But there's no fiber and there's no water here. So you just tell me, look at this and tell me I would love to hear what comes up for you, because sometimes we let other people be the experts on our body, and we have on-board innate common sense, which can be compromised by a lot of the marketing campaigns. But just think of this, right? Inside the body, women don't like cellulite, but think about what we're eating and the amounts that we're eating, and consider the body doesn't like to store this. And also consider we can store, as this is storage, we can store toxins in our lymphatic system and also in the fat, this fatty tissue, if you will. We store things here, right? I want you to think about how is this stored on the body. Now, am I telling you to never eat fat? No, most of the brain is made of fat. And we have a certain amount of essential fat in the body. But the sources that we're getting the fat from, and the only fats we really need are essential fats. So where are we going to get those essential fats from? So some ideas of where you get them from would be chia seeds, right? And also here I have some whole flax seeds, right? You can't see them in here, but they're whole flax seeds. So we don't need a whole lot of fat. Yes, now if I put my chef's hat on, fat does carry flavor, but we don't need nearly the amount of fat that we think we do. And I want you to just think about, how do you feel when you eat lots of this? Do you feel like you have a lot of vitality and a lot of energy? There's so many different camps competing, for our allegiance and our dollars. But, again, I like to think of like my grandmothers, where they didn't diet. They didn't say organic. They just ate their own food and their fresh food. And although my grandmothers and great-grandmothers were not vegan or vegetarian, they weren't big consumers of meat, and they were big on eating their own food. And I like to add on to that chapter, because we're not living the lifestyle that they lived, right? They didn't sit around and eat all day. Well, many of them did. At least my two great-grandmothers and my grandma, who were all in their 90s. So think about how this is going to make you feel. How much nutrition, is in there. And the difference between essential fats and these fats here. And how much of this do we need? That's also a big area many folks are maybe confused about or not clear on. How much fuel does my body temple need? How much work am I doing? Am I merely dieting? But I'm not taking into consideration this car, this machine, how much energy does it need and how much does it require to be able to function properly? What do I need to develop firm, strong muscle? Am I doing enough work to have the type of firm, lean muscle that I want to see in my body temple? So these are just some things I consider as I'm always cleaning and having my hands inside food. That's why I'll say a lot. The food is talking to you and the garden is talking to you, is communicating with you in the sense that you're getting valuable information that you don't get when you're not handling your own food. Look at the baking soda over there. Anyway, this is Body-Culinary. I'm inviting you all to create a great day, one that you can be proud of. And I'll see you soon. Also, just wanted to add, notice it's very warm where I am here. It's probably going to go up to 100 degrees, so it's hot. This doesn't melt. So that's a big distinction with hydrogenated fats, or where the fat molecules have been manipulated, right? So I'll let you in on a secret that you might already know. These hydrogenated fats are used to make your pastries nice and flaky, right? So they taste fantastic, and the cookies, you don't eat one. But I just want you to think of not just the taste and the party in your mouth, but what those foods, how they behave inside of your body. So it's hot here. This does not melt. Right, so to really give you a visual on hydrogenated fats and things that are manipulated for shelf life. So I hope that this is helpful. This stuff is dangerous, and it has the word vegetable in it, right? Vegetable shortening. So just peep these food crimes, right? These play on words. I wouldn't even put this stuff on my skin. I wouldn't put this on my skin. But it has the word vegetable in it. Okay, so this is making me think further, right? So when we think of petroleum, like what's the big deal with petroleum? These petroleum products, right? For those of you that were raised on hair grease, I was raised on hair grease by part of my family, the other side, coconut oil. So if things don't break down, right, and our skin is porous and the largest eliminative organ, and our skin is constantly respirating and it's breathing, right? And so if I put something on it that's clogging, yes, it can get creamy, maybe if this is clogging, I mean, think of also how that will relate to petroleum or things that don't break down, right? Because they're synthetic or they've been manipulated. Perhaps it could have been a vegetable at one time, but by the time it's manipulated, it's something else, right? So I think that could be a very valuable way to look at some of the things that are even inside of the health food store, right? Maybe they came from vegetable or fruit ingredients, but you can manipulate things till they are no longer recognizable as they came out of nature, right? Sometimes that's a benefit, and a lot of times it's not. So let's just look at our waistlines, look in our cabinets, and let's just marinate and meditate quietly on the results we're having without judging good or bad, but just looking at results based on what it is that we are consuming. So I just repackaged that shortening, and I'm going to put it back in the storage area. I'm not even going to call that vegetable shortening. I'm not going to call this vegetable shortening. I'm going to call this what it is. It's a machine lubricant. So it's lubricant for my juicer. That's what I'm using this for. I would not put this inside of my body under any circumstance.